Welcome. This is the VR in the classroom session. For this, you received at registration, you received a little box viewer kind of thing. If you brought it, we're going to try to use it today so that you can be like, yeah, this is how you do it. If you did not bring it with you, feel free to use one of those. I have a big box full of them right there. Just letting you know, if you have yours like back in your room and you want to keep that, that's great. Any of these that get returned to that box, I'm going to take back to the school district and have the kids use them. So, you know, just let you know. If you want to take it, fine. If not, it's going to go to the kids. So, just letting you know. But, go great one. Swing by, they were like ACPEnw, so they stopped on by, and they're like, there's so much food here. It's full. Pretty big. Right up there, cardboard box. Starting to get settled. The enjoyable part about this is that there is no slide presentation. We're just going to be getting hands-on, we're going to be playing with stuff. We're going to find a lot of problems, we're going to encounter technical challenges. It'll be great. This is probably the best place on earth to be doing this. Because if I was doing this session for teachers, which I have done, like when we hit technical difficulties, it's quite the task. But this room, I'm going to figure you're pretty self-sufficient. But we should chat about the barriers that we hit so that when we try to bring this into our districts that we know about those things. There are many different devices, many different platforms, and we want to experiment with that today. Let's just start prefacing this whole thing. My name is Chris Hesselbein. I am a TOSA, Teacher on Special Assignment. So I bridge between teachers and IT departments. I help the teachers communicate with IT, and I help IT communicate with the teachers. That's one part of my job. The other part of my job is to stay on top of cool stuff that's happening in the classroom, and then I try to bring those ideas to teachers who are willing to try it, find success or failure with it, change it up, and share it with a different teacher and spread those ideas throughout the district. So that's what I do. And part of that journey over the last 2 years has been messing around with like Google Cardboard and VR resources in the classroom. And this session is going to be very instructional centered. It's going to be very much about, it's not like, hey, I have this amazing Oculus setup with, you know, the handles and tilt brush and we're gonna like do crazy stuff. Because honestly, that's not where we're at in education. We don't have the funding for a studio like that in every classroom. So this is going to be really focused on what you can do right now with the devices that you have in your schools around VR. A lot of this is cutting edge, and a lot of this is stuff. Oh, it's recording like my back. That's cool. A lot of this stuff is, I want you to think about it like in the coming years, as things get better, where is this going to go? But right now, we're going to be talking about the simple stuff that you could do right now in the classroom with your kids. Cool? Like that's what this is. So if you came here for like super advanced VR stuff, we're not doing that because I don't have that funding. But if you're here to just find out what your teachers and kids could be doing with VR, then you're in the right place. So good, cool. All right. What we are going to do first is we're going to do something called a Google Expedition. Have people done these? People heard about it? So some people have, some people haven't. So we're going to try to run one. We're going to see what happens here. Google Expeditions is a guided virtual reality field trip. And it's a very simplified VR field trip. It's static 360 images with annotations so that the teacher can guide students through points of interest in the 360. Okay? And what we're going to do is that I'm going to display my teacher iPad up on the screen, and you're going to be the student. So at any time you kind of check out what I'm doing as the teacher as you take this field trip. Okay? So we're going to start out with that. The first thing that needs to happen is that you need to download the Google Expeditions app on your device. And
it's 23 megabytes.
Yeah. It's pretty small, it's pretty quick. If for some reason this isn't working, while we're doing this, let's talk about what you need to do to actually run an expedition while we're waiting for some of these apps to download. The first thing that you need is you need a teacher device. I'm just running it off of an iPad. Then you need student devices. And student devices could be any, they could be an iPad, it could be a cell phone. We have, for our VR kit in Lake Oswego, we invested in 30 iPod Touches. So these fit in the goggles, and they were, cheap, and the kids aren't making phone calls on them. So, that's how we created a VR kit. We'll talk more about that later. We also have iPads in the classroom. If you have iPads in the classroom, that works. Then everybody needs to have the Google Expeditions app. The teacher needs to have it. The student needs to have it. And then the one magic ingredient that you need to make this all work is a router. And I'm not talking about your access point in your classroom. I'm talking about a separate router. And the router that I'm running off of right now is just this right here. It's plugged into the wall, it's sending out an SSID, but it is not connected to any internet. It's just sending it. So we're creating a WAN, right? We're just going to all be connecting through the same router. Make sense? Sometimes when I take this and present at different school districts about this, the IT people see an SSID pop up, and they just they start searching from room to room. They're like, oh, somebody's doing something with our network. This is not touching your network in any way. It's totally disconnected from your school network, and it is absolutely crucial that you have this. I tried to do it on my school network, and we could only get about 8 devices connected at a time because there's just too much traffic. You need a direct connection wirelessly between this teacher device and the student device. Make sense? So, teacher device with the Expeditions app, student device with the Expeditions app, wireless router not hooked up to your internet at all, just putting out a Wi-Fi signal so everyone can get to it. Make sense? How are we doing on the downloading? We got it? Good? Good? Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to do as a teacher. I'm going to launch the Expeditions app. And then what's important is that in the Expeditions app, under this Discover tab, there is just lists of all these virtual reality field trips. You can search them by content, by if I click on science, it'll search through that and sort it out so there's filters there. And then if there's something that's interesting, like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, I tap it and I say download. I download it to this device because you know what's coming is that this device has to leave this actual internet connection and go over to the Google Expeditions Wi-Fi so I can connect to you. So what we need to do is anything that you want to share from the teacher iPad, you have to download it from the internet first onto your device because you're going to have to leave the internet to get to the student devices. Make sense? Okay. So I downloaded that and it's ready to go. There's plenty of things here to do, and then it goes into my library. Once it is downloaded, these are all of the things that I have presented before. And today, let's go to Mount Everest. Angel Falls? Well, let's do Angel Falls. I've been there. So, as a teacher, I select my expedition, and then I forgot. We all have to get on the same Wi-Fi network. I'm getting ahead of myself. Everyone go to your Wi-Fi settings, and you should find Google Expeditions as a Wi-Fi network. And when you find it, just connect to Google Expeditions. I'm not sure if iOS and Android are going to talk together pretty soon. It'll be really interesting to see what happens. Usually I have a standardized deployment of devices that I'm working with, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Let's see. All right, everyone on Google Expeditions? Yeah? All right, cool. Once everyone is there, I'm going to go back to Expeditions. I'm going to choose the expedition that I want to share. And then I'm going to tap Guide. And now, you can launch your Google Expeditions app. And tap Join. Down in the bottom right-hand corner, there should be a Join button. It's Android's in the middle. Okay. And you should get to, you should see Chris Hesselbein, and you should be able to join my expedition. It should say pause by teacher if you're in the right place. And then all I do as a teacher, right now I can see that there's 19, 20 people on. I wonder if we're getting in and out. So we'll, 23, 22, we might be dropping. We'll see. Anyway, I can see the number of people who are signed in there and connected to me. And then down here is the play button. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the play button. And we're gonna see if this is working. Sweet. Okay. If you need help lining up your goggles, let me know, and I'll come around and help you. And we'll try to. Oh yeah. Goodbye, everyone. See you later. Screen, when you take it out, there should be a white line. If you're having trouble with being a little blurry, there should be a white line. That white line needs to line up with the crater of the volcano. Notice these. There's a little like line now. You can see that the white line lines up with it. Getting a little bit rowdy out there. So as a teacher, I can hit the pause button. Aww. Yes. Yes.
Do you have a V2 viewer or a V1 viewer?
Oh, I don't know.
Which viewer you have?
Oh.
Probably gets a phone number that.
Oh. This is V2. I think it's a V2. Tips. For kids, what I usually do is I say, everyone, as we're putting it, I step them through and like make sure they're connected before we put the devices into the goggles. Because if they don't get it lined up correctly, it's really, really blurry. I mean, these are cheap headsets to begin with, but if you don't get it lined up, it doesn't work. On your screen, there are like two images, and it's separated by a white line. The idea is if you look through your nose piece, there's like a mountain, like a volcano, and there's a little crater at the top of the volcano. You line up the white line should be directly in the crater of the volcano, and that should align it in your goggles. So double check. You can look and see if your white line is lined up with the crater. Cool. So the teacher has control about what images are pushed out to students, and they can pause it, and they can play it, and they can change it. But now, how this becomes a virtual field trip is that the teacher starts to narrate. So what I can do is I can take you back in, and then it comes along with the script. This screen right here gives me a script. There are two main climbing routes to Mount Everest. The most popular ones are from the southeast in Nepal and another from Tibet in the north. And so I could just read through this script about what you're looking at. But there are also points of interest. And as a teacher, I tap on a point of interest, and then it guides you. Oh, these are wind horses. You can't miss the colorful cloth flags called lung ta, wind horses in Tibetan, fluttering on strings hung between poles and cairns. They're meant to promote peace, compassion, strength, and wisdom as they bless both the countryside and the climbers. Between 600 and 700 people attempt to climb Everest most years, but in 2015 marked the first year in 41 years that no one climbed to the peak. This is because deadly earthquakes triggered avalanches that swept through base camp. And notice the type of tents here. There's a lot of tents, and what I can do as a teacher is I can actually start drawing on your 360 environment. Hi. Okay. That's okay.
Should we be able to see your virtual ink on there in our headset?
Yeah, you should be able to with it not going.
No.
Oh, interesting. All right. Yeah, it just went away.
Oh, was it? Okay. Oh, yeah, no, okay.
Don't look at the sun! So what I'm pointing to right now, that's actually Camp 1. So base camp is where you started, and then this is the second camp up the mountain. That's actually Camp 1. Notice, if you put the goggles down for a second, notice what I see as the teacher. Each one of those faces is an indication of a student and what they are looking at. So I can tell where my kids are engaged or what they're interested in. I can also, there are pre-made, turn that off. There are pre-made points of interest. Also, I can go off script and I can be like, hey, this thing right here, I just hold down for 3 seconds and it creates a new point of interest for me. So you can use the script or you can go off script. Yeah.
Does it provide the elevation to this camp for that?
The only thing is in the script. Like, so if it's in the
I
script.
got my glasses on, so I'm asking, is that information in? So if kids start asking questions, which might be how tall is it? Where are they?
Yeah, it depends. So this one, it says right there that this camp is at 6,065 meters, so almost 20,000 feet. The only information that the teacher has is what's in the script. But think about the power of this. If you found one of these tours and then had kids research and find their own things and then take them there. So yes. Other questions? Other questions?
I'm assuming the face of the world is what people are looking to.
Yes.
It's like you, like way off.
Yes.
I'm gonna answer this. Can you edit a script? Can you take this and make it as your own, or?
We'll talk about creation in a minute. You cannot edit this script. This script is published. It is there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering if you did. Like, it's good, but then add more.
We're gonna try something else. We're gonna try something else with this. These headsets do not work for us. And spending too much time in here actually trying to almost my strength. So, so we got the strap out. Yes. What we're going to do is we're going to go into magic window mode. So as I have students who are kind of like complaining about eye strain, or maybe they have a headache, or maybe they have like glasses, right? And they can't do the headset for some reason. They can still do a field trip. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to experience this out of the goggles. So pop it out of your goggles. And I'm going to send you to the next. I'm going to send you to the next scene. And for this scene, you should see two things there. But in the lower right-hand corner, there is a box for full screen mode. It'll transform it to magic window mode. So you still have the accelerometer, but you do not need the goggles.
So should we tap that?
All right. So, let's talk about the evolution of this. I brought this idea to my school district. I said, hey Joe, there's this thing we can do virtual reality stuff. And he said, go for it. And we got funding, we created a kit, and then we let teachers know about it. And then what I did is say, hey, what are you studying? And then I went out and looked through the expeditions, found appropriate content, came in, and then took them on virtual reality field trips, right? And people were really, really psyched about the goggles. They were like, oh, this is amazing, the kids loved it, and but it was great, but then the kids started getting eye strain and stuff. And then we did a rollout. We did a K2 one-to-one iPad rollout, which means that every kid had an iPad in their classroom, and every kid could use one. And now looking at this magic window, being like, wow, this is really actually a little bit eye strain, right? Well, then they're like, well, we just started using iPads. So they're using iPads in Magic Window. It's a bigger screen size, it's more comfortable, it's less eye strain, and the kids, they were actually preferring it. So you don't need the goggles to do this, right? Yeah.
So I was in Europe over winter break, and they're using these now on tours. I went into a house, and you would hold up your device they would give you, and you could see the room as it was furnished, though it's an empty room.
Yep.
And so I saw that in quite a number of museums and other significant places in Germany and Vienna and Barcelona.
Like using augmented reality?
Yeah, so everybody got one of these devices, and then you had a headphone and it talked to you. And over in this corner.
That's a perfect segue.
Yeah,
because
it was awesome.
Because that's what's happening next. So, any questions about this, like VR Google Expedition? You see how this works, right? Teacher pushes it out, teacher narrates, teacher puts up points of interest. I usually give kids a graphic organizer, look for this, do one scene, hop them out, have a discussion, pop back in, right? And that's great. That's great. Then Google just released AR expeditions. So that's the next thing we're going to do. Stay logged in, stay connected to me. What we're going to do, I'm going to hand out some of these AR markers, which you can put on either on the floor or on your tables, and then I'm going to push out a tour in AR. This is going to be crazy. All right. A little bit of help. Thank you very much. We'll keep it rocking. Just put out some AR stuff inside the donuts. Play around with it. Things I should have done beforehand. Very serious. Plenty of extras. We can throw them on the floor. We can. All right.
Anybody not get one?
You can share. You can share. You don't all need your own. All right. So what we're going to do is exit this. And then, how about dinosaurs? Dinosaurs are cool. So let's say we're learning about dinosaurs, or we wanted like an activity to kind of talk about different types of dinosaurs and body size and stuff. In that Discover tab, and I'm not connected to the internet anymore, but there is now an AR filter. So if you tap AR, it'll filter it all out to all the augmented reality stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to launch my dinosaurs AR tour, and I'm going to guide it. Same thing. And it reminds me, hey, did you print out the markers? Because you're going to need these things. This is just a PDF file. You just print it out. And then say, let's go. Join up. And see if you can get a dinosaur on your table. Same as before. Join. Look. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Oh, that's cool. What's going on?
Don't stick your hand there. Nobody.
Yep.
Hey, reach your hand out. Down just a little bit. Up, down, 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 down. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. There you go. Now you're petting it. Oh, yeah, there you go. Take a picture of that. There you go.
Can you take pictures or screenshots again? Screenshots again.
Is he in the donuts?
Hands up where?
Bottom hand in a little bit more. And the top hand down. Awesome. There you go. Screenshot it.
It's weird because it was like I said, it wasn't working. I mean, I was all over.
Put your head back just a little bit. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Oh my God. Yep. Try another marker too. Now, as a teacher, I can edit this object. So, I made it bigger, right?
Everybody wishes they could carry two phones on
He was having trouble with it.
You guys working at glasses?
Yeah, you just.
Yes.
It doesn't look like it's scary.
I did that. Yeah, I just did that.
All right, but because there's no stereo, this is not.
Switch to the pen cell and let him go inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But yes, technically,
Somebody else did that too, and I don't know Okay, I've started a new one. This is about cell biology.
yeah.
Tell him to get
We don't want to learn stuff.
Yeah, the cell is pretty cool.
All right, so as the teacher, what I can do, it does come with a small script. And then what I can do as the teacher is I can kind of edit this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom you into a part of the cell, and that's kind of what I did with the dinosaur. So I take this, and then I
edit the object, I can make it like really small and send it out to you. So it should shrink the size so you can kind of see it. Or if I wanted to, as the teacher, I can like zoom you in real close to something.
There we go.
Right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
This is when kids just start writing.
Yeah.
Cool thing is most kids are already experts at this. It's still like mango and stuff.
Yeah. And I just don't know why.
That's not my class.
Yep. Yep.
You thinking of the
Let's talk about some of the problems. Yeah, right. Are you on my yeah, some other. No, she was having a different issue. Let's talk about it.
Because I can spin it around, zoom in and out, but it's not.
All right, everybody. Let's talk about issues that we have encountered, because there were several issues that have been happening, and I don't exactly know why. Yeah, I don't see that as an issue. I let kids get up on chairs. That means that they're really interested in something. That's not a problem for me. Yeah. Just buy helmets for everyone. All right, one of the problems that people were encountering on the Android app, there was people were having trouble actually joining. There was no button to join. Who was experiencing that? There were maybe a couple people, so that's one thing that had happened. Who was having a problem where their camera, even though their camera had permissions, they could only see a white background? Yeah? And I'm not sure why that's happening.
It's on iOS, I don't know what's Android.
So I just rebooted my Android phone and
Yeah.
now it's working fine.
Okay. So,
I think it's probably got some Microsoft code.
There was another problem that you were having over here with an iPad where the camera was enabled and you could see it, but it was not picking up the AR target. Like, it just wouldn't recognize the target. And what? And the same thing on your Android as well. I also have a classroom set of iPads that is doing the same thing. So I don't know why our CNS team is kind of like looking into that right now, but
It only did it on augmented reality.
only on the AR. Yeah. VR was a little bit better, but the AR, this is very new. This is like very new stuff. So don't be surprised if you encounter problems like this. But what do we think? Pretty cool? I mean, it's pretty slick. And it's not difficult. I printed out the things, I downloaded the thing, I got a router, and you joined, and we just looked at stuff in our classroom. Like, that's a super cool, easy thing to do. But the newness aside, tech problems aside, a cool thing to try. Thanks for being flexible and just trying something new, failing. One other thing, I've tried this on Android, on Chromebooks that run the Android app. And I haven't been able so far to get it to work. As the teacher is on an Android Chromebook, restart, a total restart, and it works.
Troubleshooting tip.
Oh, have you turned it off and turned it on?
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess that's something to try. But I haven't been able to actually get a classroom session going where the teacher is leading on a Chromebook running Android apps, and the students are on Chromebooks running Android apps. I haven't gotten that to work yet. Don't know why, but that's where I'm at on it. So that's Google Expeditions. However, the real power in VR is not in consumption, right? That's not what we want to do. We want to have the kids create, because this is cool, but like, is it really valuable? You know, I mean, it's neat, but it's much more valuable if they're creating. So, just last year, my school participated in the beta program to actually create our own Google Expeditions. They just recently have actually released this, that when you make a Google Expedition, you get to publish it into the Google Expeditions app. I can see my stuff that I made in the Google Expeditions app. I hit a wall. I cannot share out with you some of the expeditions that I have made. I don't know why, but it just hangs. Their stuff works and my stuff doesn't. We'll figure that out as we go. But anyway, I was thinking that we could take some time and try to make our own Google Expeditions. Be pretty cool. It's really easy. For this, you'll probably want a device with a bigger screen. So if you have a laptop or a Chromebook or anything else, you might want to take that out. It's a little bit easier. Or it works on an iPad. I'm going to be doing it on an iPad here just to kind of show you. What we're going to be doing is going to VR Tour Creator. It's not Tour Builder, Tour Creator. So I'll launch that up and you can see what that's like.
Is this an app or a website?
It is a website. And you might need to get back to the regular Wi-Fi. All right. It is a website. If you want to go there, bigger screens are better for this, definitely. Screen real estate matters. Definitely have to be logged into your Google account. Now, this is a new feature of Google, and it also requires it to be turned on in your Google Admin console. Unfortunately, we have nobody here who's able to do that, right? Like, so if you start trying this, you might have to log into your Google Admin console and actually switch this thing on. But what we're going to do is just start doing a tour. I get started. And this is a collection of the tours.
This is a collection of the tours that I have built, just out of my 360 stuff, right? What you can do is you can start a new tour. And you get to title it, and you get to get a cover photo, and all that good stuff. So the trickiest part about this whole thing, one, is making sure it's turned on for your school district. Two, is getting a cover photo that's the right size. It won't let you create it without a good cover photo, and the cover photo has to be a large image. So this is where I teach the students that you can go to Google Photos and you can turn on the filters for usage and size, and that's a useful tip too. So I'm going to go and get a big picture. Hopefully that'll work. But think about where you want to go. We don't have 360 photography probably on your devices right now. You can use your own, or the brilliant thing about this is that it uses 360 with Google Street View. So think about somewhere that Google Street View is gone that you want to go, you want to make a tour of. So I'm just gonna, where should I go? I'll go to Spain. How about that? Sure, I'll go to Spain. So what I'm going to do is title it and then start looking for a cover photo. And I want you to just start pushing through this app. We're going to take a couple minutes of playtime, and then I'll come back and explain a couple features if you missed it, okay? So your goal over the next, 10 minutes or so is to try to build a tour in Tour Creator. Cool? Good luck. I'm going to start building one on the screen. You can kind of follow along there. Otherwise, just play for a little bit, and we'll catch up later.
Tour Creator. So
Just search for that.
just Google it. Yep, it's just a website. Come on around. Or do spreadsheets, you know. Either are fine. She has to make something cool. Email's boring. Okay. So, I've made my first scene. How did I do it? I logged into Tour Creator. I found a really big image for the cover, uploaded my cover image, and then I clicked Add Scene. And then where did that take us to? What did it launch? Launched Google Maps. Yes, very participatory crowd. Thank you. So when I say Add Scene, it launches this Google Maps interface, and you can drag Pegman around wherever, and wherever it lands, it'll give you the 360 for that. Pretty easy. So I can just pick them up and just drag them wherever. About out here. Great. Boom. Okay, there's my 360. It's not very exciting, but it's there. So I say Add Scene, and then I can title it, and I can also put in points of interest. When you add a point of interest, it hovers a point in your 360, right? This is how it was creating those points of interest. And on the point of interest, what you can do, when you're in the point of interest editor, this is really amazing, is that you can add a picture pop-up. So, how does this work? The students in Lake Oswego, the 4th grade students, the second grade team was, they usually go on a field trip of Lake Oswego for history, right? And they were like, it's really expensive to get the buses. We just need to see a couple of things. So the 4th grade teachers took a field trip. They brought 360-degree cameras. They took pictures in 360 of the modern environment. They did research, found historical pictures of what it used to look like, and did photo overlays in the 360 environment to show what it used to look like. Pretty cool. And then they published it, and then they sent it to the 2nd grade team. And then the 2nd grade team went on a virtual tour
of Lake Oswego history. Yes? So those photo overlays are great, and you can just grab those off of anything. So for this garden scene, I did a photo overlay and magnolia tree right there. You don't have to rely just on Google Street View images. You can upload your own 360. So if you have a 360 camera, you take it, you save it, you upload your 360. So let's do a 360. I will say add scene, and then I will say upload. I will select an image from my photo library. And this is a 360 of the golf course that I took with the drone yesterday. Sure. Not connected to the internet? Thanks. Let's try that again. Popped off ACPE. Try it again. So add scene, try it again, upload. Come on. Anyway, if it is on your hard drive, you can upload it and use your own 360-degree photos into this. Let's talk about publishing. We've made this, we've gone through it, we put in our points of interest, we've published our research. Now we want to share it out. There is a publish button. So I say cancel here. And then up here, there's a publish button. You click publish, you can make the visibility public or private, depending on if you want other people to see it or not. You click publish. How am I doing on time? What is this going to say? Got a half hour? Good. Okay, good. We still got a lot more to do. And then what you can do is you can copy that link. So what we're having kids do is just copy this link and just post it to Google Classroom, right? Or whatever LMS so that their teacher can click on it. So this is their project that they've done, that they are actually giving a tour, and then they upload it, and that's their work, which is crazy. So I just click View Tour, and this is, sorry. I got the accelerometer on. This is the tour that I just made in this, like, 2 minutes. And I can tap on these points of interest. Oh yeah, there's that photo that I overlaid, right? And then I can tap on this point of interest and see what's up. And notice that it's giving me the text that I also put in there, right? So this is allowing students to actually create in VR. Cool? This is what kids are able to do. VR is a new medium, and we should not just be consuming with it. You know, like interacting with it, playing games, that's fine. But if we aren't using the new medium to actually communicate their learning, then we're wasting the medium, right? So whenever we can, it's all about creation, okay? Tour Creator, super easy to do, and when I log into Google Expeditions on the app with my Google account, that tour that I created will be available for me to view in VR. Neat? So I'm thinking it's only a matter of time before they do that with AR as well. If I can make stuff in VR and upload it to Google Expeditions, I can do it with AR. So think that kids could go into Google SketchUp or Tinkercad and upload their 3D designs and put it into an AR space, and then have Google Expeditions be able to push that out to people, right? So right now, we have the creation tools. We're working on the hosting ability. How do you share this stuff, right? You can create it, but the real challenge is where do we put it? Where do we share it? And if you've noticed, this expedition is shared at poly.google.com. Has anyone been to Google Poly? Have you checked it out? Let's go check it out. Let's go to Google Poly. Poly, Google, poly.google.com. So Poly for Google is a storage repository.
for all of this content that's being created in AR, VR, 3D. If you check over on the side, I'm going to hit the 3 bars over here, you're going to see there's a lot of stuff here.
We have, if you explore, well, first of all, there's your stuff, so anything that you make in Poly you can find. But then we have stuff like tilt brush and blocks and tours. Tours is where your tours are stored, right? Architecture, art, community. Take a couple minutes and just poke around and see what's in Poly. Take like 3 minutes and just poke around. See what's in there.
Poly's just a website. No.
Poly,
no
yep, no website, no, it's just a website, no access. Yep. And so what's nice about this is that it makes expeditions available to people who just have Chromebooks. Kids can make expeditions on Chromebooks. They can publish them on Chromebooks. They can view them on Chromebooks. Not accelerometer VR style, but you can still make this 360 medium, right? All right, so this is one of the things I found in Poly. This is a CAD image that somebody made for fun. They just wanted to make something and they wanted to post it. And right now I'm looking at it on a mobile device. And what I can do is I can turn on 360 view. And then as I move, right? So this is not too far away from being able to publish into Google Expeditions AR, right? All you need is the AR interface, which they already have. So they're going to open this up, and it's going to happen. So imagine your kids making things in Tinkercad or in any kind of AutoCAD program, and then being able to display it in AR. Think like an architecture class who wants to actually design their stuff and then do like an AR mock-up for a showcase. It's really cool. And it's really simple too. With the tours, again, same thing. Should be able to go into a tour, and then I hit the settings. Oh, and then I get, 360. On certain devices, this Poly material gives you the goggles option too. If you ever see the goggles come up, you can tap goggles and you can throw it in goggles and use it in VR goggles. And I'll show you what that looks like. So that's Poly. Pretty cool. It's neat. It's just like a bunch of stuff right now. But I think knowing that there is this repository where people are building tilt brush stuff, they are building stuff with CAD programs, they're building expeditions and tours, and this is a repository for it that already has motion integration and 360 integration. This is what's going to be coming up. People are already making stuff. The question is, how are they going to start sharing this stuff? How will people be consuming the stuff that they make? We've got to close the circle, right? Is this helpful? Is this giving you some ideas of, and this stuff is happening now. Kids are making this on their own time, just doing stuff. So why aren't we allowing them to do this in their classes, right? This is there. This is available, and it's free, which is crazy. Okay. Let's talk about some content that is out there that's really great. Everyone have YouTube app on their phone? Yeah? Okay. So launch YouTube on a mobile device and go to YouTube, and we're going to search for 360 Discovery Education or 360 National Geographic. There's a lot of cool content, and I want you to just find a cool 360 video that you can use with your goggles.
If you guys want my daughter's weddings available on 360, I can send you that.
So I'm just going to...
I also found one that's like a shot of like a Starry Night scene, and it's got all these like points like Milky Way, the Moon, Orion, comets and shooting stars. But as you click on the different info points, it like checks it off.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
know that you've covered everything before moving to the next scene.
Is that a program or a...
No, it's just one of the things I really follow.
Can you call it? That's incredible.
Yeah. So it's
Is it a tour? An expedition?
Yeah.
That's a good expedition that somebody made about constellations. Yeah.
I like the whole proceeding to make sure you hit all the points and everything. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So for this, you will need a 360 camera.
For this, to make this, you need the 360 camera. We'll talk about the problems that I've had. But right now, there is a growing library of 360 videos that are available to you. And if you launch it on your phone and you're looking at 360 video on your YouTube app, are you seeing a little goggles icon? If you see the little goggles icon, you can tap it and it'll split it, and then you can launch it in your goggles. Not all 360 videos have that, but you could also search for like VR, Discovery Education, search for VR stuff, and you might see a little goggle pop up. And then you can view these videos in VR in your goggles. So just a little bit of exploration time. If 360 isn't working for you, I mean, the quality is amazing. That's really cool. If 360 Discovery Education isn't working, maybe like look for like VR or something and try to find a video that has those little goggles on it. Maybe I can get it too.
You put the NBA court-size experience, that one will get everybody around.
NBA courtside experience, yes. I'm not getting the goggles on this. No, it doesn't.
You want to check the port side out?
No, that's not what I was looking for. Did anyone find a video with the goggles symbol on it yet? Yeah, a couple people have? Yeah. So if you see the goggle symbol, you just tap it and then it does that split screen thing that you've seen before, right? And then you slap it in the goggles and you're ready to go. There is a huge library of video content in VR that is just incredible. Much better than what I was trying to do here. Let's talk about VR and making VR with your students. I've had a lot of failures over the last 2 days in my VR video. So I was using some of the like $400 like Insta VR 360 cameras, and those are good cameras. They record in 5.7K, right? Like they're good cameras. But what I was finding with the typical editing devices that you would be having, or mobile devices, is that even though the camera was 5.7, the mobile device was only exporting at 4K. And then 4K is like it's stepped down, degraded. And then when I would upload it to YouTube, I'd get further degradation, right, for compression. So everything that I've been researching is like getting a really powerful computer with a really big hard drive and like Adobe Premiere, so that you can like crank up the bit rate and actually get something good. And then using like a $1,000 to $2,000 camera also helps. So when we're talking of like these incredibly vivid VR videos, these 360 videos are happening, they are not what your students are going to be producing in the classroom without like some major investments in hardware and software and time and energy. So you can get very simple VR video and just post it to YouTube, and it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's cool enough. Like you can still view it in VR and 360, but you're not going to get quality like that unless you really use good hardware, good software, and you're dealing with huge file sizes that make that. Just a heads up, if you're like, I'm just going to buy a 360 camera and make these amazing videos, it isn't easy. It takes a lot of work. So, yeah.
Kobe's last game has the little goggles in it. I have it right now.
What does?
Kobe Bryant's last game.
Kobe Bryant's last game. I'm gonna see if it's like an iPad thing, right? Let me
I have it right now on mine.
let me go search. No, not that search. See if I can get it here. Bryant's last game. How about that? 36. VR.
VR, yeah. That one.
This one?
The very first one, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Do I have the goggles? Do I have the goggles?
Put it on horizontal, on landscape.
Yeah. I wonder. So I'm thinking on an
It's
iPad.
probably an iPad thing.
On an
because I do
iPad,
have
I'm
it on
not
the phone.
finding it. On smaller devices, that goggle thing is good, but I think that what's happening is that it's noticing that this is a bigger screen. You're not going to slap this in goggles, so it's not even good. Okay. All right, we got 10 more minutes, and I want to show you one more app that's kind of interesting. You can play along if you want, but it's one more creation app that students have been using. My students in a 4th grade classroom they were studying ecosystems and biomes, and they wanted to make virtual reality environments. And so they used an app called CoSpaces. Have you heard of this? No? Okay, it's an app called CoSpaces. It is free. You can upgrade to more management features and stuff. You get 2 spaces for free, but I just wanted to show you what that looks like. CoSpaces EDU. And this is a space that I started making just this morning. There we go. So this was a 360 image that I took of the golf game. There's Mike. And then I dragged in an elephant and a text box. And all I have to do is just tap on this, and I can import for library. And I can, if I want a bus, I just drag a bus out into my VR environment, and I can create this in VR, right? And then, what I can do is I can share it. I'm going to call it golf. It's fine. Done. Play. Share link. Nope. Where's my QR code? There we go. Little goggles. So that definitely can share with that. It's not given. Where's my? 1 second here. Home. I'm sorry. I used to be able to launch a QR code. Nope, that's a scan thing. Anyway, why is that not working? There.
Code in the top right corner by click. Is that where you touch starting?
No, that's just playing like so I could view it like in VR. That's just play. The last time I used this, it created a QR code, and then all you had to do was scan the QR code, and it would load the space, and you could just view it in VR. So this is an incredibly powerful thing. It starts out with just a blank 360 environment in the background. You can take your own 360 images and just upload them right into the app, and it creates the background. Then you have a library of three-dimensional like CAD objects that you saw the elephant was animated, its ears were moving and stuff. And you just drag that into your 360 space, and then you just share it out, and anyone can view it. Like, pretty cool. Like, it's amazing. And I know your brains are kind of full, and we're kind of getting to the end of our time here. I'm sorry, the QR code thing didn't work. If I can get it to work, you can just scan it with your phone, and it will like take you right there. So I'll keep playing with that. Any final questions about anything we covered, or thoughts, or what's happening?
Website where these resources can be found?
No, I didn't make one. I was just like, we're just gonna be here and play, but I don't know, post something. How are we sharing resources at this conference?
You have one of these badges.
ACPE listserv, we do that.
You got one of these
Yeah, I
badges.
do have one of those badges.
So anyone who wants to get a hold of you, they could go use their phone to take a picture of your
They could totally do that. You could also just email me. My information is on the sked.
Oh, yeah.
And so you just email me if you're like, hey, what's this stuff? I really wanted this to be like just an interactive play kind of presentation, just to kind of experience some stuff. But a quick review of what we did. We did Google Expeditions VR field trip, Google Expeditions AR field trip. Then we switched into Google VR Tour Creator to make our own expeditions. We went to Google Poly where those are hosted, right? And we looked at a whole bunch of other stuff that was in there. Then we searched through YouTube for 360 and VR videos. And then finally CoSpaces, an app that allows you to create your own VR spaces. And that's what we did. But if you have questions about this stuff or want more resources, please get in contact with me. I am always learning, and this is the forefront of what's coming up. But remember, as we go forward, it's always about creation and not consumption. So if you're doing VR right, the kids are making stuff, not just consuming stuff. Does that make sense? All right. Help your teachers. Go have fun with this stuff. Hope you enjoy the goggles and you're like, wow, that's actually a cool thing that we got from Joe. Awesome.